Hi everybody, this is Miss Fortuneberry again. This week I decided to make a Matisse paper cutout bowl, and I'm going to teach you today a little bit about Henri Matisse and how to make this awesome, super easy bowl. And I found this idea online at Kuruski's Little Shop of Colors. This is her Matisse egg, and she made this by using a balloon and cutout paper and glue. I made mine using a bowl, and I'm going to show you how to do both depending on what supplies you have today. But before we do that, I want to tell you a little bit about Henri Matisse. He was the inspiration for this project. He was a famous French artist. He was a painter, a draftsman, a sculptor, and printmaker. He was born December 31st, 1869, and died November 3rd, 1954. He is known for his use of vibrant colors, as you can see in these paintings. At the time, his work was considered to be, wild and unconventional. He had some harsh critics, but he also had many loving followers. Matisse was the leading figure in the modern art movement. Matisse's painting style was known as Fauvism. Many of his paintings are characterized by flat shapes and controlled lines, and he used pointillism. After 1948, Matisse became ill and he couldn't paint anymore because he had to stay in his bed or in a wheelchair. So he started making many works of art known as gouache découpée. That's French. These were made by cutting or tearing shapes from paper which had been painted with gouache, which is a type of paint. He had assistants help him though because he wasn't able to get out of bed or his wheelchair. So he would tell them exactly what to do, like to the millimeter. All his cutout creations are 100% his artwork though. He was the mastermind behind it all. He just had to have a little help in getting up and down and getting the supplies and gluing things up high. So now that you know a little bit about Matisse and seen some of his amazing artwork, let's get started. I'm going to give you two options today. You can either make your Matisse-inspired bowl or egg with a balloon, or you can make it with a bowl and a plastic bag. So it depends on whichever one you have the supplies for. So the first one I'm going to show you how to make is one that I found online at Kuruski's Little Shop of Colors. She did a great job with this. The first thing she did was cut out a bunch of paper shapes. She went with the traditional Matisse seaweed kind of shape, and I love that shape, so I went with that on my bowl as well. But you could really use any shape. You want to make sure that they're pretty big. Don't make them too small. Cut out whatever colors you want, and then if you're using a balloon, you're going to take the balloon, blow it up, stick it in a cup or a jar so that it stands up, and you can paint the entire balloon with either glue or Mod Podge. If you don't have either one, you can make your own Mod Podge with just flour and water, and I have the recipe on my lesson plan as well. And then after you have it covered with glue or Mod Podge, you just stick all of the paper shapes all around them. Make sure that they're overlapping each other, and you can leave a little bit of space between some of them where air will be able to get through the egg or the bowl, but make sure that they are connected to each other, and you brush the glue or Mod Podge on the top of it, and make sure you give it a really nice, generous, thick layer of the glue, and then let it sit overnight. Don't mess with it, let it completely dry, and then the next day you pop the balloon and pull the latex balloon out of it, and voila, you have your beautiful Matisse-inspired egg. So if you don't have the balloon, No worries. Everybody has a bowl and a plastic grocery bag at home, right? So I did not have a balloon, so I used a bowl, a plastic grocery bag, tape, scissors, and glue. I used regular Elmer's glue on mine, and it worked beautifully. But you can also use homemade Mod Podge or store-bought Mod Podge. So I cut out a lot of shapes. I love the color blue. So I did the seaweed shapes. I made them kind of large, and I cut out a bunch so that I had enough to go all the way around my bowl. And then I took my bowl. I have a little glass bowl. I have some tape in a grocery bag. You could use whatever bowl you want, big or small. And I wrapped it in the grocery bag, and I taped the top of it so that the bag was really tight around it, and made sure that it didn't shift or move while I was creating. And then my little boy is here. He's helping me create it. And what he did was he covered the entire bowl with glue first, and then he stuck all the shapes down on the bowl, and as he's putting them down on the bowl, he's brushing glue over the top of them again, and he just keeps layering and layering all the shapes, all the paper cutouts, until the entire bottom and side of the bowl is covered. Once that's done, we gave it one more quick, nice layer of glue, and we let it sit overnight. And then the next day, it was nice and dry and ready for us to take apart. Okay, so this is all ready to be taken off and to be revealed. Most of it is really dry. There are a few heavy spots of glue like inside that aren't completely dry, but that's okay. That's actually gonna make it a little easier for us to remove it. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut the top of the bowl off so that I can pull the plastic bag out of the paper bowl. So here we are, just gonna cut that off and throw that away. I'm done with those for now. And then pull it off, and voila, we have a little bowl, but we're not done. We want to take this ugly little plastic bag out of this, right? So be very careful though, because it will stick to your paper. It's going to be stuck. You glued it there, but you can peel it off kind of like a sticker. You just need to be gentle. So if you need to ask for a parent's help on getting it off, there's no shame in that. But I'm just pulling the parts that come off easy. I'm pulling it off. And if there's a part that won't come off, just go around it. Be very, very gentle not to tear your paper bowl. Remember, it is paper. And so I'm just carefully pulling it off. Going all around the top of the edges first, little by little. Don't rush this. Okay, so this piece is super duper stuck. So it's gonna come off though, trust me. Okay, you just gotta be careful. I'm gonna kind of work the edges with it with my finger, carefully and slowly. See? Look at that. And then this little piece here is wanting to come up with it, so I don't want to tear it. So I'm gonna stick it down there. If you accidentally start ripping any of these pieces, stop, go the other way, and try to get it off the other way. If you can't, just cut around it with your scissors. And then once you get all this off, you can always glue it back down. It's no biggie. Paper can always be glued back. Okay, I'm trying to stay in the camera's view. Sorry about that. And that piece, there we go. And voila, I have my paper bowl. So this is really cute. I like this. I would just put this on my little table as a decoration. You can put it on your dresser, whatever you want to do it. Store some jewelry in it. So super cute. After you create yours, please make sure to share it with me. I want to see all your amazing masterpieces. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and don't forget, be you, be creative, stay positive, and make art.